Hello and welcome. Today I wanted to go over kind of go back to basics because a lot I showed off my library for a minute and then I realized one of the books that got me into cybersecurity was called Linux Basics for Hackers. It was my probably my first book, and I wanted to go back to the beginning because I was building out my courses and I figured this would be a good one to start with. Now, what do I mean by that book? I was showing, remembering I had different things to make sure I was grabbing the right VMs. We'll talk about that in a second. Uh, This one. So this one is a really good book, and it teaches you everything you need to know, everything you need to know about Linux and how to use Kali Linux in general. So yeah, I I think if over this, I think starting here versus hearing like a lot of different directions, like going hack the box, try hack me, TCM security. I think if you're really starting out and you don't know a whole lot what's going on and you wanted to go ahead and just dive in rather than spending like a lot of money like with getting in this first course, because all these even IT certifications, but cybersecurity certifications like this are going to get really expensive, like the PMPT or the PGPT or the OSCP itself. Like that's about 1700 in general. So picking up a book like this and trying to start off to read, learning about how to use Kali, I think is a great starting point. And it's worst case scenario, you don't like it getting into it. It's like that's $40. But if you want to get into it a little bit more, this is a great starting point too. So I want to go over the series uh, of this book from Occupy the Web, which is a great book in my opinion. So uh, beginning before we start anything here, let me look. That's okay. Uh, we got to get the VM. So during the introductory phase before chapter one, we need to make sure that you have a VM installed ready to go. Now I've got two of them already, and then I'm going to show how to do Hyper-V, but it's pretty simple. And I'll put the links below on how to install it. You could use VMware Pro Workstation from Broadcom. That's a good site to use, or even VirtualBox. I've been doing IT for about a good 7 years, and I've been using Hyper-V and the rest of it pretty easily. But if you're new, Oracle Box is probably going to be your best friend to start off with. And then after you get that VM, you're going to go to Kali Linux here. Um, and you want to go to virtual machines. In the book, it talks about getting the ISO. It's quicker to get the virtual machines, and you're not super confused because again, if you're brand new to computers itself, or you just starting off and you know pretty good about Windows, but you want to go to Linux, this is probably a better option. So you can download any of these. I haven't used this one, but any of them works. I'm going to do Hyper-V, but you just download them and then there you go off to the races. This is already ready to go. So we add another one here. Um, Hyper-V is a little bit different, but it's fine. So VirtualBox, if you get the VirtualBox installer, all you would have to do is press this blue button, and then it'll actually take you to VMware and get installed. The VMware version, kind of the same thing. You find the thing, and then there you go. Like yeah, like click yeah, you click on that, and then it's already on there. Then or you go to player file open, and then you would find then wherever you have the ice the thing installed, and that's where you would install it. And that's pretty much it on that. So via Hyper-V is the Microsoft version of it. It's free. It already comes pre-installed in Windows. You just have to enable it through Control Panel. You know, I'm not gonna really go over it because it can get confusing. I don't want it over confused. I think it's easier just to do it from VirtualBox. But in the case of just installing it, just show how to use it. Now, if you want to use Hyper-V, it's pretty simple. All you have to go to is this bat file, run as admin, bring it over, and it'll already create the VM as we're going. And it will open up another instance again. We'll just close it. It's going to import it. and it's already open. So in that case, with this one, we can just close the bat file and then just close Windows Explorer, open up Hyper-V, and then we can click connect. It's not in a starting state, so I have to start it. That's pretty much it. It's up and ready to go. The book will tell you how to configure it through the ISO, but again, I feel like it's easy just to open it up this way. So, so we can exit out of that now. Here, default username and password is going to be Callie Callie. I can spell. And then we'll go to chapter 1 here. I have the book next to me. So now we have the terminal open. Awesome. First things first, before anything, when you get a new system with Linux or in general with Windows, it's kind of the same process. This is a brand new machine out of the box. You treat it as such, like with a VM. So it doesn't pre-install anything. So when you want to do, let's go sudo apt update. Now, and for this lesson, you would also run upgrade too. But for now, we're just going to keep it here, the update. We just want to update it. There'll be a list of like over 400 whatever to upgrade, but sake of time here, I don't want to just do that because it'll can take forever. But well, the update took, so we're all good there. All right. So now that you got this started, I'm going to go to chapter 1 here, and I'm going to explain how the file system works. So first things first, I'm going to go get permissions. All right. I'm in the root folder of this box in Linux. So Linux has a file system, no different than you would see in Windows, but their file system is a little bit different. So if we go to computer, go to file system, everything's technically within a folder system. So root is basically the highest level you can probably get. Let's see here, I think. Yep. And permissions denied because we don't have access to root. But root, again, is the highest permission itself. So as we can see, and we can run ID, check who we are. We are the root user. So if you think of it, the hierarchy goes root to boot to etc, then to home, then to mount, which is a mounting point, and then proc would be your kernel data, then your system, dev for device files, bins and sbins for binaries. Then you have the libraries, and then you got user, and they got so much different other libraries that goes with it. But compared to here, we go cd home. I'm sorry, home. We have a machine called Kali. So think of it that here, go to the home folder, Kali name. This would be what you would see when you open up as the user Kali. Now, root would be different because now you're the local admin, if you think of it in the Windows setting, or you think of the other. Now, it can get confusing because there's so different ways of thinking about how to get admin access, and if you don't understand that thought process yet, you will be, and it does take some time. But think of it this way: is if I'm the root user on the root home, I have the highest authority on Linux. No different than if I was the local administrator for my PC here, I would be, I have the highest amount of authority on my PC. The same concept, but their file system is a little bit different. So go back to computer, file system. So, like I was saying, the root goes first to boot, then to etc, which is the configurations of the system, and then home would be the user directory because the only user that's we made is Kali, so Kali would be here. Now, if we made a different user, that would open up, and I signed into that person, that would open up that person being use that home directory because then that's what you do when you sign in to your box. No different than when you sign into a PC. So think of it that way as the tree. I think the better explanation here for digital lane, the file system. That one's actually perfect to show. Oh, that's YouTube link. It's kind of the same thing though. I want to open up this new image. Give it a second. Actually, it's probably too small. We'll go Linux directory system. That's perfect. So think of it this way. So move this over. I can this down. I am the root user. Root has access to everything. So because I have the highest level of authority, then uh, it goes in this directory path. Now you could add a user to the root permissions too, or you could not. It depends on the situation, but that's how it would look like. So we'll get into basic commands here. So how to find yourself within the file system, because it's not based on a GUI system, would be the PW command. PWD command. Excuse me. Oh, that's way too. I'll go back here. All right. Clear it. That's where we are in the folder. And if I went home, well, then same command again, I'm in root. So then we can also check who am I? I'm root or ID, which also tells you the root user, the GUID, and then also the groups. So I'm under root of group, the GUID, and the others too. Now let's close this window and go to here. We can do the same thing. ID. Now I'm part of an admin, but I'm not part of the root because I have everything I can use these, but with these groups, but I can't do a whole lot. So, because I would need root permission, which is fine. So then let's say we want to go to a directory in the command prompt, which is fine. We can go to, like, I want to be able to go to desktop example. I will use the change directory command. Go desktop. Then make sure where we're at. We're home, Kali desktop. So if I wanted to go back, I do the two dots, and that's it. So that's what the CD command will do. And the PWD, excuse me, will get you to see where you're at in the file system. All right. So then listing, like I did a little bit earlier, is ls command that shows you your basic library. When you're in access a folder to show you what contents is in it. So that's what the ls command do. If you want to see a little bit further, you do ls-la, and it actually shows you anything else within that folder. So like this is in the home Kali folder, like this. So I can see the contents of the list that's not technically seen, but it does exist in the folder. So let's see, I'll say so let's use tools as a command here. This is I think this is getting a little this part in chapter one's a little you gotta know a little bit of Linux, but it's not too bad. So let's say we want to learn about a command like what does mnap does or that tool. You run mnap dash h for help. Now, not every tool is going to be like that, especially if you go to a repo in GitHub, which that is way further along the line. If you needed to know about a certain commands or flags and you run the H command with that tool, it should show you the contents of it. Now, not every author will have that, but until like mnap or anything else, or like aircrack, H should oh yeah, follow the steps here. You would also run this as a flag. It'll show you how to use that tool in that list as well. You can also do the reference pages for your tool. This would be an option. This will show you all the lines as well in the manual, but not every repo is going to be like that. But normal tools that are already pre-installed, when it comes to these, it'll be there. Do not worry. We will get to certain tools when we do, but right now it's just the command. So we want to locate that tool. Back up here, it's the up command. Go locate. Okay. Or weird that Aircrack isn't there. Aircrack's Wi-Fi cracker, but it's fine. We'll do map locate. Saying it doesn't know where the directory is, but it definitely is. But if you wanted to go ahead and locate her, where is that's where it would be located in the file folder of your tools. And same thing with Aircrack. It'll show you where in the folder it's installed. Then there's the find command. Type name. Coming off the book. All right, we'll just do that. We're gonna go sudo then. Really? Come on. So the find command is basically if you want to find a certain file type, like in the Apache 2, um, file, basically, or whatever that used in privilege escalations for sure. So what you would do when you're trying to find the name of a file you want to look for, you want to run find with the dash, then the type of file, the type, and then F for file, and then uh, the name of the file would be Apache 2. This could be also be like um, Python or whatever. We could probably do that. Python, if I can spell. That's not gonna allow me to, but it'll find where the permission is or where in the folder structure it is. If you need help finding. So then we also have the grep command. We'll clear it. There's two ways to clear terminal too. There's clear and then there's control L. So there you go. Yes, aux here. All right. So when you run a command, you probably see that you get so much information all at once. You want to go ahead and not get as much information. What you want to do, oops, is control or sorry, shift up or shift, then the where the backslash is like that, and then you want to run gripe or it's not grep patchy. Okay. So now you can try to look for things a little bit quicker with the gripe command on what you're trying like what kind of services you're going to look for within Linux. So that's what the gripe command will do. Makes it a lot easier to do so. All right, I'm going to do something a little weird here. I'm going to go to the desktop. Give me a second. Test.text. X. All right. Where all right. Okay, so we've had a text file, right? Or any file in general you want to go ahead and see. You can run the cat command and it'll actually show you the contents of that file. That's what the cat command will do. And then if you want to create a new file, there's one the way I just did it also is one way. Like there's multiple ways to make a file. You can use mouse pad to create one. You can use Vim. I like Vim. You can use Nano, like we just did. You can create that file. You can also text it. Or you can go touch and I'll create a file. And that's what that will do. And then there's the make directory. You can make a directory with mkdir for make directory and go new. And then you go touch text. So there's a text file on it. You can also copy and make another directory, call it new again, just for sake of just being weird. We can go copy command S to new cat. Oh crap. Yeah. We didn't write anything on it, but if you ever was writing, you would do it. So that's the CP command. And then you can also view its contents. You can also move with the MV command too, and you can also remove with the RM directory. So, like, let's see here, we can hit the move. Desktop or backwards. Now we're at home. There it is. And then we can remove it with the RM test. And it's gone. And it's permanently deleted. You can also do the same thing with putting it in the trash or whatever. You can send it to it and then just empty trash bin. So that's it for chapter one for the most part. It's basically getting to know Linux in a nutshell. So the other stuff that I like to now when I get to my box first is I like to run PetMyCali. It's a good one. You could also run bloatware on it. So depends on the one you want to use it. You can remove whatever software or you can keep it. Doesn't matter. I like it for the Impacket in case Impacket doesn't work. And then uh I like installing Evil WinRAM Python. I learned that one about a month ago, and I realized that was a huge game changer. And then Legolo has its own tool on Kali tools now, and I'll go over it a little bit more. But yeah, that's on basically Linux Basic for Hackers for chapter one. And I'm going to keep going at it with going into chapter two next and see how far I can get. But yeah, that's pretty much it to get started. But all right. Uh, Thank you all for watching, and if you like this content, you can click like and subscribe.